Namaskar everyone, welcome to Presha Yoga and I am Presha. In today's Learn a Yoga Pose video series, we will be learning Dandasana. So roll out your mat and let's get started. Dandasana, also known as staff pose, is the foundation pose for almost all the seated poses that we practice in yoga. So that means it's important for us to understand the pose in order to go further with our journey to practice and understand the other seated poses. So for this pose, we are going to be using two props. One is a light blanket and one is a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can also use any kind of belt. Now let's begin in seated pose. So this is a seated pose, as I mentioned before. It is the foundation of all the seated poses in yoga. It looks like this. So you're going to be seeing Dandasana. If you see any time online or anywhere else, you would see someone practicing Dandasana this way, sitting up tall with arms to the sides, palms down on the mat or the floor, and we can see that you can see like a shape of the alphabet L, right? Now this might seem like an easy pose, but a lot of people start to slouch here and don't find the back body to be able to sit upright. That is why we will be using a process in order to practice the pose, and the process is to use props in order to ace the pose. So first, place a blanket. You can fold the blanket and then place it like so on your mat. Sit on the blanket so you elevate your hips. You can also stack another blanket on top of this and sit on almost the edge of the blanket. However, your sitting bones are resting on the blanket. Then you're going to extend your legs forward. Now this, when it gives you a little height, for some of us who tend to round through the spine, or for some of us who also have tight hamstrings, this technique gives a lot of help in order to practice the pose. Okay, so sit on one or two blankets. You can stack a few blankets under your seat. Extend your legs like so. Flex your feet. So what is happening is your toes are being drawn to you. You are spreading your toes. Your heels are kicking forward. And with your hands, you can place them right here to the sides. You can see my wrists are almost under the shoulders. And my palms are pressing down gently into the blanket, into the floor. Now again, if you feel this is still not accessible for you and you're still starting to round, or you find it too difficult to sit this way, then you're going to be using a strap or a belt. So take a strap and we're going to just again come back to the same way that we were seated. So extending your legs. Now slightly bend into your knees first. Again, flex your feet. So you're digging down through your heels, your toes are drawing towards you, you're spreading your toes, and the mounts of the big toe are kind of pushing forward, and you're now going to take the strap, take it around the balls of the feet, and hold the strap through both the sides with your hands. Now this is going to give you a great support to be upright in this pose. You can see my knees are still bent, and that's absolutely fine when we are practicing the pose. So lift through your chest, relax your shoulders, and take a couple of breaths here. If you feel this is accessible for you in the body, you can start to now eventually extend through your legs. Again, keep the flexion in your feet. So flexed feet look like this, but feet if not flexed look like this. And that's why I keep repeating, flex your feet, okay? Again, taking the strap around. From the knees bent, now we are working towards extending the legs. Again, sitting upright, the shoulders should not be going up. They should be dropping down. Relax them, lift through your chest, and you can see we are practicing the same pose that I showed you in the beginning of this class, right? Now, this is somewhere where you can be and practice this pose for as long as you want to. Perfect. Now, let's get rid of the strap and let's try the pose without the strap. If you don't have a strap, then again you can also still bend into your knees, flex your feet, keep your hands to the sides, and this way as well you can practice the pose. Inhaling, lifting the chest up, relaxing the shoulders. Good. Finding a nice elongated spine. The crown of the head is lifting up. Perfect. Now, if you've practiced this pose enough and you want to now practice the conventional way of the pose, again, this is a journey. This is going to be after days and days of practice. This is something which seems like an easy pose, but even for me, when I started off, it wasn't easy for me. I had to practice it, and with time, my body got used to getting into the pose. So, the conventional and the traditional way of the pose. Sitting with your sitting bones down, rooting into the mat. Extend your legs forward. Flex your feet again, spread your toes, kicking your heels forward and your toes are drawing to you. And you can keep your heels a little apart from each other. If you want, you can bring your big toes slightly closer, but it's not important. Hands to the sides. Now, if you feel your arms are short, that's absolutely fine. You can also place 2 yoga blocks here and you can put your hands on that as well, okay? Sit up tall. Roll your inner thigh muscles in a little bit more. Good. Pull your kneecaps up towards your pubic bone. Lift through your pubic bone and your torso. Lift through your chest and keep the spine elongated. Look forward and stay here for 3 breaths. Perfect. To come out of the pose, put your hands slightly back, shake it off with your legs, relax them. And that is Dandasana. It's amazing to see that an easy pose, as it might look easy, as Dandasana can be of so many technicalities, but it's a great way to also remind ourselves that everything which might look easy from the outside needs some work. So this is one of those poses. Now I'm going to see you again in another video soon, friends. Until then, be well. Om Shanti.